What's up? This is Richie from the Very Wild YouTube channel, and today I'm going to show you guys my favorite bass fishing setup that I've been using the most. My go-to bass fishing setup, the rod, the reel. I'm going to tell you what kind of line I put on there, and I'm even going to show you guys 3 of my favorite baits that I've been using the most right now. And one of those baits is what I gave Jamie in the last video, and she absolutely killed him, man. And we're talking about a girl that's gone fishing, you know, 3 or 4 times in her life, let alone up at Castaic, and she just hammered him all day. So stay tuned, let's get into it. All right, first and foremost here, we got the rod. It's a St. Croix Premier 7-foot medium light fast action rod. I went with the medium light because I do a lot of finesse fishing, right? I'm throwing really sensitive type of stuff. So I wanted a lot of sensitivity to feel some of those little nibble hits, you know, that you might miss if you're fishing a thicker rod or, you know, something a little too heavy. So I went with the medium light. Now, I have bait casters. I love them, I use them, but for some reason I always do better with the spinning reel. I feel more confident in it. If I only had to take one rod up to Castaic, for example, tomorrow, I'm gonna take this. Medium light St. Croix Premier, 7-foot. Thing is the most sensitive rod I've ever used in my life, man. You feel every little bump that your drop shot hits, everything the Ned rig hits, you feel it all. You can feel them eat it nice and slow, gives you that confidence to not set the hook right away, let them eat it for a second. You feel it, man. It's a great rod. As far as the reel on there, I got the Sedona 2500. Yeah, 2500. It's a great reel. Sometimes I get a little spinning, a little twisting, line twist, but it's not so bad. I don't know why it happens. I guess it really is just because there's so many revolutions of that reel with that gear ratio. It just cranks. So that it twists up the line on you a little bit, but man, awesome reel. Great drag system. I really recommend it. Sedona 2500 by Shimano. As far as the line goes, 8-pound mono first as my backing, and I'll fill up the spool maybe like halfway, and that way I'm not, you know, wasting a lot of braided line because that's way more expensive. You don't need to fill your whole spool up with it. Plus it's gonna spin on you anyway on the inside. So a lot of guys used to use, like, you know, electrical tape or something like that. It's not even worth it. I would just throw half the spool, fill it up with, like, say like a Trilene XL, something like that, and then you're gonna just use like a double uni knot to a 20-pound Power Pro I use in the green moss color, and then I fill that spool all the way up as much as I can. You don't want to overfill your spool, but you want to get it to the point, you know, right up at that lip. You know what I mean? Because if you don't fill it enough, you're gonna have a little trouble casting. You won't have trouble casting, but you're not gonna get as much distance as you would if the line was just right there ready to fall off it and just takes off. So you want to do that, and then you're going to double uni knot again to either a fluoro or a mono. I just use mono. I use 8-pound Trilene XL mono for my leader, you know, and mind you, this is just my preference, okay? I'm not saying that everything I'm saying is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. Listen, if it works for you, whatever you're doing, it can't be wrong, right? I'm a firm believer in that. It's whatever works for you. But I just want to let you know what I do personally, just in case you were curious or you didn't know what to do for your rod if you're just getting into it or whatever. But yeah, I'll go with the mono again for a leader, and I'll do here's the spool in this hand, I'll pull it off the length of my arm width once, and then one more time, which should probably be around like 12 feet for me. A lot of guys, they'll bring their leader all the way down into the reel. I don't like to do that because I don't like that knot getting into the spool. I feel like it might hinder the casting just a little bit. So I like it to sit like right around here somewhere, and anything like between the reel and the first eye, like somewhere right in there. I think that's usually where I like to keep it. That usually works the best. I used to just go straight braid without a leader out here, and in New Jersey, I could get away with that no problem. I would kill them all day. It really wouldn't matter. They're not as finicky back east where I'm from as they are out here. It's just so much more pressure out here on these fish, and they're just they're picky, man. They're finicky, so you don't want them to see that braid. I questioned it for a long time, like, geez, are they seeing my line here? Like, I couldn't quite figure it out, but ever since I've changed to the mono leader, I've been catching way more fish. It's, you know, it can be a pain in the ass to tie, but just do it. Just do it. Get it out there. So yeah, that's my favorite rod right now. You know, like I said, I love the bait casters, but I'm just I don't know. I just enjoy the spinning gear for some reason, one reason or the other. I just like the way it casts, and I'm just more accurate and more comfortable with spinning rods. So that's how I roll it out there, baby. And so the last thing I want to talk about are 3 of my favorite baits that I've been using right now up at Castaic. One of which Jamie used last time, absolutely killed him. And we're talking now, we're in the beginning of August, so it's coming up on late summer. You know, it's hot as hell out there, and I've been waiting for it to slow down, but it hasn't. You know, you got all these baby stripers boiling on the shad. It's really all about the shad right now for me. Every time I go out there now, I'm mimicking shad lately. So the first bait I want to talk about is no stranger to anybody who fishes is your Zoom fluke. Fire them out there, just tap, 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 swimming across the surface, let it drop, a couple seconds, tap, 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 just kind of make it look like it's alive and swimming. And last time I caught some really nice fish on it. I was actually using the different color. I was using that color. I'm kind of all out of them, or else I would show you the bag. I kind of forget the color, but very basic, you know. Does it look like a shad? Yep, fine, it doesn't matter. But the white, that'll work too, man. I'm sure of it. The next bait that I have been using, which I think everybody uses, is the Gary Yamamoto's. You can go green pumpkin. I love the black color. You know, when all else fails, I'll throw one of these on and just work it super slow, and you're always gonna get a little action on those. But my top favorite bait right now, by far, this is the one Jamie was using last time, and she caught more fish than me because I made her stick with it and I was exploring and experimenting different baits. Robo worm, right here. What's the color again? Hologram shad, that's right, I always forget that name. Hologram shad, 4.5 inch straight tail. Robo worm, I also have the sexy shad color. I'm sure that'll work just as well, but this is the bait right here that Jamie was using in the last video, and she killed him, dude. It was awesome to see. When I take her fishing, I mean, this girl's only been fishing 3 or 4 times in her life, so I want her to fall in love with it, you know, as much as I love fishing, and so I want her to have a good experience and catch some fish and learn and, you know, get some experience under her belt. So I knew this bait was gonna work. I had success with it a week or 2 ago. I set her up with that, and she absolutely killed him. But if you haven't used them before, by all means, go grab them, man. Drop shot this thing. I throw it on a, I believe, size 2 owner mosquito hook. Great hooks. They have the mosquito light and normal mosquito. They're both great hooks. I probably would go with the normal mosquito just because it's a little stronger, but the light, they work good. The light hooks too. I haven't had problems with them. And you can work it a couple different ways. First way, you just cast it out, keep your bail open, let it drop all the way to the bottom. And you know, those things have so much action, man. Even if you're not messing with it at all, you're just keeping it dead still, you know, the currents and everything are gonna just make that worm just move just a little bit, and that can be enough sometimes to get a hit. But yeah, usually I'll just cast out, let it drop all the way down, and then just kind of slowly pull the bait back towards me. Just a slight little pull, and then let it sit. Slight little pull, maybe like a tap tap at the end of that pull, let it sit. You know, and don't be afraid to just let it sit there, man. Just let it sit there. Count to 10, count to 20. Just take your time, fish it really, really slow. The other way you can do it is when you cast out, you close your bail, and the bait will just, you know, on a drop shot anyway, with that weight, it'll just pendulum back to you and kind of swim more towards the middle column of the water instead of being right on the bottom. And you'll get a lot of action like that too. You know, it depends on where the fish are sitting in the water column, and you know, how aggressive they are that day. But they are smashing that hologram shad right now, smashing it. Don't tell everybody, all right? This is just for you. The people who are following this channel, who I really appreciate it, you know, or you know, I just you know, it sucks. Like, part of me doesn't want to say the baits that I'm using, you know. But the other part of me is like, all right, well, you know, if these people take the time to subscribe to my channel and they're watching my stuff, and you guys probably watch fishing videos. Why I watch fishing videos: A, you love to see fish get caught, and B, you want to learn something. You know, you want to figure out what to use. I mean, when I first moved out here from New Jersey, I was all over YouTube. Like, how do I catch fish at this lake, man? It's so different. And thanks to a lot of the guys that make good solid videos up at Castaic, you know, I learned a lot, you know, talking to them in the comments, watching what they put out, talking to guys I've met, made some good friends out here who know their shit. And you know, you got to keep some secrets, right, for yourself. But the whole problem is, once a bait starts getting used too much, it can go away. You know, it's like that morning dawn color, and the roboworm still kills them. I'm pretty sure. I've stopped using it because in my head I'm like, all right, how many times has a bass in Castaic Lake seen a morning dawn color roboworm come floating by? I can't imagine, man, how many times one has gotten caught on it. So what I like to do is I try to mix up the colors, try to throw something new that maybe they haven't seen as much, you know, like try to give them a little something different, along the same lines of what you know is working, like a roboworm, but try a different color, you know, try something different, try something that you never used before. Go to Walmart or whatever, wherever you get your baits, and pick something totally random up. Just try it. You never know, because if no one's throwing that bait and a bass sees it for the first time, they may just absolutely love it, and you'll stumble upon something that's just yours and nobody knows, and you just got to try different stuff. But you know, if I'm gonna send you up there with one thing right now, it's gonna be the roboworm shad colors, man. Go out there, drop shot that, use a nice light rod so you can feel, you know, those real sensitive bites, and you should have a good day out there. So yeah, that's it, man. That's my favorite setup right now, which I use the most, and that's some of my favorite baits that I've been doing pretty well on up at Castaic. You know, I can't complain. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like for me and let me know in the comments maybe some of your favorite baits to use up at Castaic right now, what kind of rod setup you're using, what your go-to gear is. And yeah, man, I hope you got some good info from this, and I hope it helps you go out there and just smash them, man, because that's why we go out there, is to catch fish. It's the best feeling in the world. It's the best. So if you're into this sort of stuff, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Later. If you want to see more videos just like this one, be sure to check out the rest of the Where We Wild YouTube channel, where we post a brand new video every week. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we post a new adventure. Thanks for watching.